God, I love that track. What's up? Just read it down. Get it out of the way, okay? It's nothing personal, okay? The lady at the grocery store was giving me so much business over it. She's like, what do you mean you don't like me? You haven't even met me yet. I'm like, what? I'm a gentleman in art. I can yell at the lady. Yeah, I do. R8RBEAR! There's more proof of it. 0 to 60 like that. I'm a human light-skinned ninja cheetah. I couldn't just say cheetah. I had to say ninja cheetah. No. It's right about this time. Just about every year I go to you. No! You should be more excited about this upcoming season. You should be. Woo! Often imitated, never duplicated. That fool with no hair that shouts like Ric Flair. Woo! What? Woo! The R8RBEAR! R8RBEAR! All right. What do you want to wake the neighbors? R8RBEAR! They already know what's up. I made friends behind it. They think it's cool. And that is not a Band-Aid, okay? If I got into a scrap, it would be the other guy with the Band-Aid, okay? Promise. Like Thor's hammer. Call it to my hand. Oh, it's true. It's never far, okay? Don't play that stuff. Better to be caught with it than caught without it. R8RBEAR! I thought I said that was enough, but I'm glad to be back. R8RBEAR! I don't care if your dogs are barking. I don't care if you forgot to shut your window. That's not my responsibility. Hood foots in ya. That's right, I took it all the way to the chime. I haven't done that in a minute. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Always there for R8RBEAR. Blah, 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 blah. And without further ado-ing, and I really still don't understand what ado means. Tradish! R8RBEAR Live! First comment, MVP tonight goes to... Who the hell is it? John the Lion! Leon! Always taking L's, but never taking losses. Our guy, John the Lion Leon. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. What are you doing in the gold round? I caught Mark Vargas slipping. Speaking of which, the two-time champion, Mark! I was gonna give you stuff about leaving, Phoenix without saying goodbye and doing the show with me at least once. That kind of was doing it, wasn't it? Bye! Vargas! What's up, brother? You emoji making son of a gun. Third place, my bronze medal goes to No, just student. S.A. Big Dog! What's up, Big D? Welcome to the show. Oh, I gotta stop calling you Big D. It sounds wrong, and it might catch on, and people in my audience are gonna start saying, "Hey, Big D, what do you think about the new offense?" Hey, Big D, should we hold on to AOC? Gotta be kidding me. So what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Always there for Raider Bear, and now for my Facebook famous. First place, numero uno, el jefe, Carlos! Boy, kids! What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Our Facebook heavyweight champion, Carlos CB Boykins. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Always back for a little bit more of Da Bear. Ooh, we got a legend in the house tonight. Dustin King! A multi-time. Woo, multi-time. Woo, multi-time. Okay, I can't keep doing that for how many times you had the title. You just had it a lot. Dustin King, what's up, brother? Our silver medalist tonight. Always there for Raider Bear. Third place, my bronze medal goes to Chris Strong. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Always there for Raider Bear. And honorable mention, too, on YouTube, RDG. Sup, brother? Welcome to the show. And my friend Bob Standard. What's up, Bob? And last but not least, honorable mention to Corinna Trujillo, one of the benefactors of this show, and one of my newer viewers, who's no longer a newer viewer, Joe Holman. What's up, Joe? Welcome to the show, though. Lucky Pace. What's up, Lucky? Welcome to the show, you soulful son of a gun. Ronnie Goody. Got the mustache turned up like the energy. Ronnie, that's how I do things. I have one speed. Fast, faster, and faster. That's 3 speeds. What do you think about the linebacker Jalen Smith we just signed? Okay, John Leon, it's cool that you asked me that because honestly, I had that down in my notes as my first topic to talk about because I thought it was the most compelling thing that's happened in the last few days. Now, let's just roll right into it. Let me just say a quick couple blah, blah, blahs more to everybody. Rosanna Pucci, mwah, what's up, girl? Welcome to the show. The NFL schedule leaked. Do we play the Giants at home first? Okay. Anthony Lopez, yo, Super Bear, what's up? Halo in the house. Denton Rhodes, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Raider fan, always there for Raider Bear. Appreciate you, brother, and all the kind comments on my posts and stuff. Yes. Okay, so about the Jalen Smith thing, here's the thing. Now, we already did dabble with Jalen Smith. For those of you who don't remember, when AP first was coming in the door, Jalen Smith had already been putting out feelers, and then we actually brought him in. He had a physical with us passed. We put him into tryouts, all that good stuff, and it went really well with him. He came on to the field for us very sparingly, but when he did, he was serviceable. But he did, in all honesty, I do remember reporting though that he got a little banged up, and that if I remember correctly, there was like a 3-game period where he played, and it was like this game he played game 1, game 2 he did not, game 3 he did, and played fairly well in game 1, but seemed to wear down a little bit as it went on, and he needed the game 2 and break in between. It's blah blah blah. Now, I don't really think that has anything to do with anything because the truth is he had been on the street for quite a while. The Dallas Cowboys and their system had let him go. He wasn't even sure he was going to be able to play anymore because of the injuries that he had and how serious they were. He felt like his pain level was indicating that this was like never going to go away and he was never going to be better. So apparently he got a good surgery. He got together with a better doctor. He got together with a good trainer, so on and so forth. And now this second iteration of Jalen Smith is stronger, in better shape than he was when he came to us the first time. Not quite as prepared. He was still kind of coming off of rehab and, and being ready to go. And instead now we're getting him with a year on top of him having been ready to go. Year and a half. So I like it because we have to remember something. Now, yes, can you argue he's injury prone? Yes, you can argue that, okay? Now, I can't argue people who do say that. What I can say is this. You can have your injury argument. I would give you when he's playing, though, he plays close to all pro level. When he's healthy and he's played and he's survived no, accidents, no injuries, and he gets, 2-3 games in a row, he gets real good because he starts to get confident in his body again. Because it's not about his understanding of football. It's not about his physicality. It's not his speed is fantastic. His lateral speed is, I'm not going to go as far as say legendary, but there were a lot of linebackers and former players that are analysts that saw his get across the field and were very impressed. His lateral movement is very, very fast. Very hyper-athletic guy. So if he has his body and he can go, and it looks like he can, I'm excited about it. I just think that regardless of how well he plays, I would probably give him some snaps off. I would probably give him a game off, even if he didn't ask. Treat him like he's a guy in the NBA that's coming off an Achilles tear. You let him play, you put him out there, but you kind of give him a pitch count. You know what I mean? Obviously, I've gone through different sports there. On the football show, I went to basketball, and then I make a baseball reference. You all know what I meant. Come on. Ellis Irving, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Good to see you. I'm doing good, man. Appreciate that. I was reading your comment. Let's see here. You talking about Deuces Wild, Rosanna Pucci. If you talking about Boise State, you must be talking about Deuces Wild, the new nickname for our running back. Sup, Bear? Appreciate you. I had someone reach out to me. I can't say who it was because I didn't get permission, and it was just before showtime. But it was someone that ran into someone on the street, and the someone got really excited that they saw this person because they're a super fan. And the super fan was like, yeah, blah, blah, this, that, and the other. And then the super fan was mentioning that he was talking to me. And the guy on the street who ran into the super fan said, you're talking to the R8R Bear? And he's like, yeah, that's my sobrino. And he goes, that's your nephew? He's your cousin? And he goes, yeah, that's my guy. I hang out at his house. I've been on his show. And the guy's eyes bugged out. I'm only even telling that story because I just want to make it clear I appreciate things like that. I'm not like one of these people who starts to get a little bit of fame and then starts acting arrogant and, I don't want to talk and leave me alone and all that stuff. Nah, I like that and I never will be. I appreciate when people act like that. So, Joe, what's up? Better to be caught with it than caught without it. If you mean what I think you mean, I always say better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6. You damn straight, Joe. Joe, I'm going to talk to my mama because I think she might have slept with your daddy, okay? Because I think we might have been separated at birth, brother. Mauricio Cortez, Raiders, at least we got a better coaching staff compared to the last 2 years. Well, guys, we're coming off of really bad seasons. 4 wins, that's just bad. So when you consider you're just looking for hope, I don't like the fact that we have so many Raider fans right now that are already sort of making up their mind about how they feel about this regime and the moves they've made. Now, I don't mind if you want to talk about it. That's what my show's for. I want to talk about it. If you guys have questions, let's do it. But at the same time, I can't get into this thing where, because we've been bad for a long time, I have to be pessimistic. And I have to say, come on. Pete Carroll's old, and our running back's a baby, and we got so many guys on defense, that just got here, and we're getting another coordinator. We're running a new system. Blah, 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 blah. I can't. Like the sound effects. I can't get with that kind of energy. I just can't. I can say the team's bad. I can say I don't like how the Raiders are playing. I can say I don't like this build, but I can't get all down on it. You know what I mean? I just can't do that. I've always said this, and people who've watched my show a lot will remember this. I treat the Raiders like my nephews on the team. I used to go all the time to see my sons play football, and I mean, I couldn't be mad. I didn't care if they were losing 69-7, and I mean, it was never that bad, but there were times where they would get, beat out. They would get blown out, and I would see my son make a great play, and I would pump my fist, and I would shout at him. I'd say, yeah, and I'd start clapping, and some of the other parents would look at me like, what are you doing? And I'm like, what? I can't appreciate my son made a huge hit and a big play, and just because his team's losing. I mean, it was a good game. He played well. The guy from Boise State is a hunk. Yeah, he's a good-looking kid, physical specimen. Aloha, Mama Bear, Brother Bear. John Souza, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Solomana, what's up? What's up? Welcome to the show. What up, Mama Bear, Raider Bear? All the way from New Zealand. Appreciate that. Much love. I love New Zealand. I really do. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's the whole Lord of the Rings thing, but I'm not a huge Lord of the Rings nerd. It's not like that. I just know that a lot of the filming and those homes that they built into the ground, they did a lot of that in New Zealand. I know a lot of those houses are real. It's like my bucket list to either see it or move out there and literally live there. I would change my lifestyle. Give up all the electronics. You know what I mean? I would super live like that. I love the idea that the house is built into the earth, and so when it's the summertime, the grass and the soil on top of the house cool the house. And when it's cold outside, it doubles as insulation and it warms the house. I mean, it's just awesome to work with nature in that way. It's pretty cool. Raider fan, what about you think about Carr's retirement? Raider fan, I don't think anything of it. I don't understand why there's this back and forth. A lot of Raider Nation right now is kind of going back and forth, and it's worth a debate to talk about what he meant to Raider Nation, whether or not we should celebrate him, and all these other things. See, to me, none of that's relevant. If you want to celebrate him, celebrate him. I mean, if you're a Derek Carr fan and you like how he played for us, that's cool. I mean, why should anyone base their opinion or their feelings because everyone else in Raider Nation says, no, you should think this? I mean, first, I never do that, and second, you shouldn't either. Now, having said that, consider a subscription to Raider Bear family page. It's just $5 a month, and you can cancel at any time, but you won't want to because we give great public service messages, and we talk great stuff about football, and I try to keep it funny. And if you should enjoy yourself, stars contributed to the show go directly to charities all over the world that we work with all the time, and we're saving the world. And we really are doing that. And I have stories I could brag about and stuff like that, but I kind of did that last year and the year before that because we were doing like amazing things and it was a lot of fun. Right now I'm just sort of doing the normal stuff. I'm just helping outreach programs and stuff like that. I haven't latched on to a new great one yet. I'm trying to find the next really doing something big. Jesse Parker, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show, my fashion designer. Hope our special teams improve. We haven't had a punt return for a touchdown since 2018. Cullen Baldridge, great stat, and welcome to the show. And I would say this to you. That is absolutely important, and I would also remind everyone that Tommy Mellett, the quarterback / wide receiver that we brought in, that pretty much is just converting to wide receiver, did have some returns in school, and he was good, like real good. He was credited for having great vision because although he has very good speed, he doesn't have these 4.3 solid. At least I don't know, man. It's probably pretty fast, but I haven't heard his speed clocked as everyone's shocked how fast he is. So I think a part of what he does is he combines good speed but also great eyes. So he can see the lanes, he can see the blocks that are forming, not just right in front of him, but a little bit out there. So you kind of want to move those pieces with your movement and then burst. And he has that skill. So we may see some improvement there because he's definitely going to get moved around. The Tommy Mellett news is pretty exciting. I mean, the guy's already impressing the coaches and staff. Just what they've seen from already, just messing around with these little pre-camps, meeting to throw the ball around in their shorts. And did anyone else see Max Crosby? He looks like he's been getting ready for MMA fights. He looks like a monster. I mean, he looks like a monster. He was already a bad dude. I mean, we all knew that. But I'm going to go out on a limb right now and predict that Max Crosby, I can't believe I'm going to say this. And I'm telling you guys, this is a major gamble because we already know how good he is. So to say what I'm about to say is kind of a big deal. I think that Max Crosby may win Defensive Player of the Year this year. I think he may get like 15 sacks. I think he's going to have a crazy nuts year. If he doesn't get hurt, now obviously we can't, I'm not trying to make excuses. If he gets hurt, he gets hurt. But I'm still going to make the prediction, gambling against that. But I see Max maybe having the best season. No, I'm not going to take the maybe out. Say it with your chest. Okay, here we go. Max Crosby's going to have the best year of his career, I think. There, I did it again. I qualified it again. Max Crosby's going to have the greatest season of his career. Period. Book that. I've got him having the best season of his career. I really do. I think this coming season will be the season of his career. And and if our offense is better and they can keep the ball on the field, move the ball around, run the ball, and put points on the board, it's going to be even worse. Because then he'll have his energy, he'll have his breath. He won't have to come out there over and over again because we're having 3 and outs. If our offense clicks and we just stay on the field from time to time and put points up from time to time and keep teams honest, get leads from time to time, he's gonna murder. He's just he's gonna kill it, man. He's gonna kill it. What's up? What's up? Appreciate you, Stephen Shaw. Much love, brother. Mike Henderson is in the house. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Bye. Bye, Rosanna Pucci. Much love. Say hi to your mom. Reyes Antonio. What player are you most excited about for this year besides Laube? Okay, first, Dylan Laube got screwed just like AOC because they were in the middle of regime change, and so they didn't get the snaps they deserve, and they got kind of left on the bench. Now, Dylan Laube is a very good player, but there is a very good chance that I'll never get a chance to prove to you that I'm right. Because if we cycle him through our system and we just send him out into free agency, he'll probably end up somewhere else. They'll do the same thing, and then he'll just end up disappearing, and we'll never know if I was right. But I'm telling you, I have a crazy good feeling about Dylan Laube. Now, I don't know how many of you go back this far because obviously I'm older than some of you, but the Buffalo Bills, way back in the day when they had that running back, Thurman Thomas, if you remember those games, the Buffalo Bills were one of the first teams in football history to really destroy you with the screen pass. I mean, they had 75 different ways to get Thurman Thomas into the screen pass. They would throw it in the middle of their line, the right, the left. They would, delay it and turn and throw it the other way, come out of play action, throw it over here. They would do it over and over, and it was because of his sight lines, and when his guys would get out in front, it was over. It was over, and he would average 15 yards a carry. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm no Buffalo Bills fan. I'm a football historian, and I can tell you from that, we have an opportunity to do that. Ashton Jeanty is the real deal. There is no doubt about it, but with Dylan Laube and his ability to do that, if he gets snaps, and then you mix and match him with Ashton Jeanty, it's over. Guys, there's potential here. There really is. There is potential here. Listen to what I'm saying, okay? Dynamic screen pass catching running back that can see sight lines and make big plays. The kid we bring up, okay, Deuces Wild, okay, Ashton Jeanty, our Boise State thoroughbred, another good nickname. And then you add to that, and I'm stunned, and I'm happily announcing that I think I'm wrong about Michael Mayer. I don't know what happened. I don't know if Michael Mayer went into the front office and just said, hey, please don't lose faith in me. I can do this. Because I'm telling you right now, the Raiders lost faith in Michael Mayer. I'm sure of that. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind that happened. I am reporting that. So if no one else does, I don't care. I'm telling you, you're getting the scoop from the R8RBEAR. Michael Mayer and the front office were not just at odds. They were done. something, and they still won't say what it was, but something came up on Michael Mayer's end that made management upset, and then there was some sort of miscommunication, and that's what Mayer kind of was trying to sit back on, was saying, hey guys, maybe you're mad at me because I'm not showing enough respect for football in my contract because I'm trying to handle this off the field stuff, but I'm telling you, I love the game, I love the Raiders, just let me deal with this. And it seems like he got to them and they heard him out, because now you see him running routes with Gino and right at camp, ready to go. And I can't imagine they would do that if they were thinking about putting him out there as a trade. And so I think he survived this. I think he survived the front office potentially losing faith in their pick and Michael Mayer. And I'm giddy like a kid, because if you keep Michael Mayer with Brock Bowers, okay, and we already know Brock Bowers is like, he's going to the Hall of Fame. We're just going to get to now watch it. Okay, the resume be built. Now, Michael Mayer coming ahead of him, in my opinion, was Brock Bowers. Everything about Brock Bowers I saw coming from Michael Mayer, for sure. And if you look at his college tape, it's there. So we may actually have two Brock Bowers. The thing I've been dreaming about and talking to you guys about for years, a two tight end attacking offense with a good running back, a solid defense, and a quarterback that has an arm but doesn't mind throwing underneath and hitting his backs and hitting his tight ends and moving the chains. Guys, there's a chance this could end up working really well. I'm getting that feeling very much more now than I did like a few weeks ago, of Pete Carroll being that guy you do not want to show up on poker night. That is not the guy you want to knock on the door late, say, hey fellas, you mind putting one more in there at the table? Go home. No, get out. I'm not falling for that sweet old man stuff again. Because he is a sweet old man, but he's a sweet old man that knows about some football. Cullen Baldridge, that's because the Thunder are still young and figuring it out. I don't like the fact that they said OKC is a young team, and they said that dismissively, like they're just supposed to figure it out and stop being young and immature and start playing more like veterans. Okay, just playing more basketball doesn't always do that. You got to have veterans around them, either in the coaching staff or a power forward or a point guard where they can command some respect, or at center, that kind of thing. And they don't really have that. The team from top to bottom is kids. They do have the guy, the bald guy that went to the Lakers, and then he went to the Bulls, and then he went to OKC, and everywhere he goes, the team that loses him says, we didn't want to lose that guy. But he's nice, and he's a veteran. He's helped their defense, but he's not enough. King Eddie Willis, it's been too long, brother. What's up? Welcome to the show. I'm excited about the season. Coach Pete Carroll is the right guy after the McDaniels era. King Eddie Willis, I think that Pete Carroll's the right guy, period. Because we have pieces. And he is just the kind of guy that can come in and go, oh, we got that, and we got that over there. Okay, we're going to put that together, make a little gumbo. It's going to taste tasty. And I'm telling you, I think it's going to be nice. I really do. And I want to finish what I was saying earlier, because I kind of got away from it. The Derek Carr thing, I don't have an in or an out opinion about it. What am I supposed to say? I'm not going to do a farewell piece for him or something like that. If he won a Super Bowl, okay. If he won a division, okay. If he had a winning record, okay. No. Nope. What do you want me to do? You remember that backup we had, McGloin? Maybe I should celebrate Mike McGloin. You know what I mean? Should I remember AOC in 5 years when he retires? I mean, maybe if he plays better, but it's not going to be for us, I don't think. He's not long for us. I think that Cam Miller kid might have made him obsolete here. Stephen Shaw! And Stephen Shaw reminds me to remind all of you that tomorrow night I'm actually going to have something pretty sweet on auction for everybody. And I haven't put it out there yet. I'm probably going to put it out there in the morning so everyone can see it. But there won't be as many eyes on it because it'll only be posted for so long. But I'm doing a package tomorrow night that's going to have a brand new license plate, a brand new Raider tag plate. It's super dope. I wish I. Oh, wait a minute. I do have that. The auto emblem. I have one of the sweet black, and it's got the bold silver letters. It's so dope, and then every inch of it is black. So like if your car's black, it's just it looks incredible. So the black logo license plate, the black logo auto emblem, and then I have this flag that says Raider Nation, the most notorious fans. It's just it's so hard. And I haven't seen too many of them. I know that there are them out there, but there's not too many that have this particular one. So I think you'll think it's pretty cool. And I'll post a picture of it soon, and then it'll be up for auction tomorrow night. I've always been a fan of Carr, and I wish him the best in his new endeavor of the retirement life. Yeah, he's got more money than he's ever going to need. He's fine. I appreciate what he was doing, but I just feel like he never was given a real chance because they never put the combinations of defense and offensive line together. They either started working on one and the other would lag, and then they'd work on that and the other would lag, or then both would lag, and they never seemed to be able to get the pieces in front of him. And that's with player personnel mainly. So I don't totally blame him. Stephen Shaw. Hi, Mrs. Shaw. I hope he tells you I say hi to you all the time. I really do. I always hope you're right there by him. Corinna True. Hello. Appreciate the love on the stars. And remember, if you enjoy the show, consider a subscription on YouTube because it's free. So just right there, little like bell, little subscribe thing there. Just go over there. Just give it a little tickle. Come on, you can do it. Just do it with me now. Come on. Nisi Tweet, what's up? Welcome to the show. I love that video you made the other day. That was cool of how you had all the pictures popping in with the jams. That was nice. Bob Standard, I think there's one guy left. I know the last guy we just signed was Darian Porter. I'm not sure if we still have one left. We may still have one left. But if we do have any left, it would be one. I know it's not more than that because we just got Darren. Cornbread, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Yeah, Cornbread, not only does he bounce off defenders, he's got pull-away speed. That's the part to me that I like. He has pull-away speed. And so if he gets daylight, he doesn't have to necessarily be like our last running back was, where he could also not only had speed, but he could bang, Whoops. Oh. Sorry. Messed up my... Whoop. Okay, there we go. But anyway, yeah, because Josh Jacobs had speed and he had power. I'm not saying Genty doesn't have power. He does. But he also has kind of the bodybuilder body. You know what I mean? Very good on the eyes for the ladies, but bodybuilder bodies in football tend to get beaten up. You know what I mean? Because it's even though it's the average person on the street gets fooled when they see bodies like that. When you see the perfectly ripped abs and the chest and the arms and they're super ripped and there's no fat. Those kind of guys are strong. Okay, they're in the gym a lot and so on. But they're not as strong as guys that are actually strong because they lift differently. You lift differently to make that chiseled body. You don't lift massive amounts of weight. Now, in some instances you may, but in most instances you don't because you're chiseling all the time. Whereas a lot of guys, they're more bigger. They may have a barrel chest and a barrel belly, and so they don't care about that kind of stuff. So they're just boom, boom. They want to be able to lift a truck over their chest. You know what I mean? And so either way is cool. But I would rather see us make lanes for this kid, keep him alive. You know what I mean? Let him make lanes and use his speed and get out there. Nisi Tweet Thomas, who may have the youngest looking mom I've ever seen in my life. Your mom shocked me. I was waiting for you to say she was like your big sister or something like that. I mean, she does look older than you, but I mean... Not by a lot. I was very surprised. Hey there is the offensive line and the number one recruit that went to Miami from Nix, Missouri, and need to look at him for the future. Okay. Gabriel, I like that. Stephen Shaw. Appreciate you, Stephen, and Mrs. Shaw. Much love. And the fam bam. I love that profile picture. Alex Caruso is the guy you're talking about for OKC. That is correct. Alex Caruso. Appreciate that, Breeze. I just couldn't remember his name, but That dude is a quality pro. I like guys like that. You know what I mean? He's the kind of guy that reminds me of Dante DiVincenzo. You know what I mean? Just doesn't matter which team he goes to, he gives you a burst. Actually, Dante hasn't been playing well in this playoffs, but every year prior to this he did, and he played well for the Warriors when we had him. I think he won a ring with us. What are you looking for in the release of the schedule? Troy Gill, to be honest with you, not that much. I want to see it. Is it front loaded or is it back loaded? That's really kind of all I'm looking for. Is the intenser competition spread out? Is it at the end? Is it at the beginning? I kind of like to see that, but that's really the only thing I have interest in. When we see people talking about strength of schedule, okay, I want my schedule to be hard. Now, the Niners, by the way, got the weakest schedule of any team in all of football. I'm just saying, I mean, come on, isn't that typical? I mean, it's just, they literally coddle their little red and golden team, okay? Joe Montana ain't walking through that door, okay? Get over it. Those days are over. You've got some little boy you found in the 7th round, and Shanna Bum, who only... That's a new one. Rack that, Shanna Bum. And Shanna Bum, who basically only knows how to look great all year long, get to a Super Bowl, and then go, I forgot my playbook. What are we doing? Wait, what? Is the car running? Okay, someone turn the lights off. I'm going to make a run for it. He's a bum. Carr had all the pieces in New Orleans, supposedly, and Carr fans said that's all he needed, and Saints were going to the Super Bowl. John Leon, it didn't end well, and to be honest with you, the Saints situation, and with apologies to Derek Carr fans, okay, I'm not trying to kick a guy when he's retiring, but with apologies to Derek Carr fans, he looked bad with the Saints. He just did. He very rarely looked good. When he did look good, it was just like it was for the Raiders. It would just be here and there. He'd make a play, and that's it. I am convinced, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that Derek Carr was not a starter. He was not a starter. I don't care about how big his arms were. I don't care about how strong he was. I don't care about how smart he was. I don't care what kind of touch he put on the football. He was not a starter. I just don't believe that. We made him a starter because he came to us and he played well. He outplayed the guy we had, clearly. I'll never forget the night that they put him on the field and he immediately threw touchdowns against what was at the time the Super Bowl champion Ravens. You know, the ones with Ray Lewis, the greatest linebacker of all time, maybe? And Derek went in. I mean, he went at him, man. And then when he got his touchdowns, was running through their defense, celebrating. That takes balls for a kid who's just got here, and he's facing a Super Bowl legendary championship Super Bowl defense, and he carves them up. Now, yes, was it early in the year? Yes, was it preseason or whatever? Yeah, but so what? You know, it's not like they were trying to let him score. You know what I mean? And they were the best, and he said, come here. And he gave him the business. So it's not like he didn't have his moments. I just don't think he was a starter. I just don't think he was a starter. I really don't. Oh my God, I must have the auction items. I just bought me a new car. My other car was totaled in a T-bone accident. The car was a hit and run. Okay, well, make sure you come see me tomorrow, Corinna. John Leon said, I could see us trading Mayer next year. I could see us not doing that because I think he's going to have a great year with Geno Smith. I really do. I think that Brock Bowers and Genty are just going to open up so much that he's going to be that guy that when other teams' defenses are prepping for us for that weekend, they're not going to look at him first. They're going to look at our wide receiver, Dante Stallworth. They're going to look at our tight end, Brock Bowers. They're going to look at Ashton Genty, and then they'll get around to maybe looking at Michael Mayer, you know, as a defensive scheming him. Not likely. And even so, having him that far down the totem pole, he's going to make plays. Steven, I got to tell you, I don't know what's going to happen with O'Connell, but more and more, it seems like the team is trying to quietly prepare us for him being moved, because you saw us make a move for Cam Miller. You saw Tommy Boy up in the box immediately come out just a day or two later and endorse Cam Miller and say, yeah, that guy, if he stays healthy, if he keeps growing in the system, could, go out there and be the Raiders starting quarterback someday. I think he sees a little bit of himself in Cam Miller. Not to insult Cam Miller, I'm just simply saying that physique-wise, they're very similar. Sorry, I'm just reading. Hi, Anna Diaz-Rincon, my first supporter ever. Mwah. I got to tell you, while there has been some bright spots along the way, it's been a real long drought for our Raiders. Now I'm looking forward to the season. I do see some real potential, but I'm not going to get excited till I see how we're doing by week 6. No. No, Joe. No. Okay, you get on board with me right now, okay? I don't want to hear about waiting until week 6. We're going to do it in 6 minutes. Okay, woo! Okay, look. The truth is this. We're going to absolutely, positively going to be able to run the ball. We've already brought in new guys. That kid Grant that we brought in, the big offensive lineman, they're already really excited about him. You've still got some guys that were starting to really come into their own on our offensive line, even at the right side. And we've brought in some guys that are going to be competent, that can step right into that right tackle role if they don't establish it right off the bat from week 1 to week 2. So we're going to run the ball. There's no doubt about it, because not just because you brought in Ashton Genty, not just because we brought in the offensive line, some offensive line help that's going to plug in pieces. The real reason why the ball is going to move is because we have an actual coach that's actually committed to that and won't panic because it's not initially working and then suddenly start going away from it. No, he'll mix a pass in here and there, and then he's going to run. And then he'll mix a throw to one of the tight ends to back him off, and then he's going to run. And then when they come back in again, Dante Stallworth, touchdown. And the legacy of the long ball that is the Raiders will be back with this franchise. I promise you. Because Geno Smith, throw the long ball. He's not afraid. I promise you. Don't go into this season wondering if he'll do it when you see it. I wonder if he'll pull the trigger when it's open. Yes. This is not Derek Carr going, oh, I don't know. I don't want to mess with my percentages. No, that ball's coming out. Geno will take the risk. He doesn't care. You know what I mean? If it's a turnover, it's a turnover. But had I thrown it and it was right and it's there and I get 6, I'm not going to play, fear. I'm not going to play about percentages and stats. I'm going to win. Aw, that's nice, Stephen Shaw. That's your stepdaughter? I like that. I have a lot of friend blended homes that are doing so well. It's like way back in, like 30, 40 years ago, that was a big deal, blended homes. I don't even think that's a big deal anymore. It's so the norm now. George Prieto, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show, my good friend right there. Will Dante Stallworth take a spot on the first team wide receivers? Oh, Bob, I don't see any way he doesn't. And the only way I could see that happen where he doesn't make it is if he maybe struggles initially getting with Chip Kelly's system. But outside of that, if he gets Chip Kelly's system, it's going to be on. Just his speed alone, because you got to remember, even if he can't get open on certain plays, he's going to pull a corner and a safety with him because of his speed and the threat that the ball could come out. And people throughout the league will tell you they know Geno Smith. Okay, the resume on him is, tough kid, a little bit of a survivor, came out with a lot of hoopla, was perceived as a bust, worked his way back, got an opportunity as a starter, performed well. Seattle traded for him. He had 2, all-star, all-pro, seasons for them. And then his 2004 season was, he came back a little bit. And then now, who knows what we're going to get, from him now. I think his experience, the fact that he's so comfortable with Pete Carroll, I really think he's going to have a ball. I think he's going to be great for us. I think he's going to win games. And I think we're going to see the return of the long ball for sure. And Genty's going to have a lot to do with that because we're going to punish him. We're going to punish him with that running game. Then it's going to give him a little play action and right over the top. And Dante, on top of the fact that he's a burner, he's tall. You know what I mean? And then Brock Bowers had an all-pro season last year as a rookie. Marinate on that. I mean, think about what that brings to us. He's a year smarter, a year more physical, a year of more experience of looking at these guys and going, oh, yeah, I'm not that guy, I'm going to tear him up. You know what I mean? I'm no longer worried about, oh, what if they run to this or what if they run to that? I've seen it. Oh, what if they run a double gap or they go over the top? You know what I mean? Two cover shell me. You know what I mean? No, he knows how to do. He knows what to do. If you run into a two cover shell, there's people that think that that's, you can't beat it because there's a guy over the top of you and a guy underneath you. No. As a receiver, you have to take the person underneath you and work him. And then let your quarterback throw the ball to you lower. Now the over the top guy's irrelevant. Now you're still in a one-on-one situation. You see, as a coach, I used to try to explain that to my players. I would say to them, when you get in your route, if there's a guy over the top and the guy on the bottom, yes, you're bracketed, but that doesn't mean we can't get you the ball. Keep running your route. Be aggressive. And then hit the brakes, cut it back, and our quarterback will hit you in the flat, and the guy over the top is just going to end up helping with the tackle. Let's go. You know what I mean? Gabriel Davis, what's up? Hell yeah, he said. I like that. Anthony Contreras, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Hello, Raider Bear. Hope you and your family are doing well, and I'm excited on the new season. We will be great. What do you think? Personally, I think that we have to look at this team like we've never looked at it before. We've never had a guy like Pete Carroll, not since John Madden. When's the last time we had a guy with Pete Carroll's experience and a Super Bowl coming in the front door? I'm not saying it's never happened, but I'm saying it's been a whole hell of a long time. You know what I mean? This might be one of the better coaching hires we've ever made. You know what I mean? I don't give a damn how old he is. You know what I mean? We don't need him to actually play. I was on a podcast. It wasn't my podcast. I was invited on another podcast, and I said, I don't understand why people are so hung up on Pete Carroll's age. I'm not asking him to throw the ball out there. I don't need him to split on the corner with the wide receivers. I mean, I just need him to coach, And I've said this before. I mean, the guy's probably forgotten more football than a lot of people will ever know. You know what I mean? So, to me, with our legacy, with the fact that the Raiders have always been an old school, old-fashioned team. I say to Raider fans all the time, think of all your best Raider players that you've ever thought of throughout time, okay? Jack Tatum and Fast Willie Brown and all the different guys you really love, okay? Tim Brown, okay? Ronnie Lott, all these great guys. What are their stats? Charles Woodson, how many interceptions does he have lifetime? Go. Yeah, you don't know. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. You shouldn't know. You know why? Because we're not that kind of fans. We love our players. I don't care if they win by 27 touchdowns or a 3 at the last minute. I don't mind heartache roller coaster games and blowouts. I don't care. If we fumble the ball 4 times and lose all 4 and then win the game by 3, I don't care. In overtime, I don't care. A win is a win. I don't care what it looks like. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want it to look better. Obviously, let's not be silly. I mean, I want a competent offense. I want a good defense, blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, in the end, I want W's, and I don't care how we get them. You know what I mean? That's why I laugh at Shanna Bum all the time over there in Santa Clara. Because they're no longer in San Francisco, but if you looked at their helmets, they seem confused about that. It's odd. I mean, we don't walk around with an OAK on the side of our helmets, do we? You putzes. We're not announced as the Oakland Raiders anymore, are we? Or the Los Angeles Raiders anymore, are we? No, we're not, because we're not there anymore. So why are they being allowed to call themselves the San Francisco 49ers? Because that name is worth billions for their logo and their fans and their stuff. And if they have to change it to Santa Clara, they know a lot of their fans will not wear that stuff. They won't buy it. They'll refuse. They'll balk against it. And so it's a catch-22. If you change it, you can't win. And if you don't change it, you look stupid. Well, that red and gold doesn't help either. Oh, did you guys hear about that other super fan, the one for the Kansas City Chiefs that calls himself Raider or Chief Wolf or I don't know what he calls himself, but I was I was reaching out to Raider Wolf today. I was like, did you hear the guy got 35 years? You can't make this up. You can't make this up. There's not much better news you can give Raider Nation than that one of their biggest fans, okay, gets 35 years in prison. I don't even remember what it was for. It was a bank robbery or something like that. He's an idiot. Is Dante any relation to? I'm not sure. Yeah, with the Steelers. It's possible. I'm not sure. He's built like that family. Piano Man, I do not believe the Raiders play internationally this year. No. Oh, Dante Thornton. My bad. Excuse me. Madden was the man in every way. I met him on a couple occasions that had nothing to do with football. I was actually a laborer for a company, that his house hired for roofing materials. I was like 17, 19, something like that at the time. Excuse me, I had the hiccups. And I met him, and he was amazing, and that big smile. And you know how it is with rich people when you see them. Sometimes they won't look you in your eyes. You know what I mean? They won't really pay attention to what you're saying. He was nothing like. He was so nice. He looked me right in my eyes. He seemed like he was listening, smiled the whole time. And one of those guys that gave you the old man where he would like squeeze your hand, but then like hug your shoulder too. You know what I mean? I was in awe. Piano Man, I think the Raiders will beat the Chargers, but for a weird reason. The Chargers are going to clock more mileage in flights throughout the year than almost every team in football. Not all of them, but I think they're like third most in football, something like that. They might be number one. I'm not sure. I know it was ridiculously high. In fact, they said that their mileage this coming season is so high that there were 3 teams that they were able to combine their flight mileage, and it still doesn't match how much the Chargers are going to fly. And I can't tell you, some of you already know where I'm going, but the fatigue and what that does to players, it adds up. It really does. It sounds like it's just something we're talking about going on flights, but you just don't understand what that does to these guys. You know, the hotel rooms, they don't get to eat a home-cooked meal. They sleep by themselves instead of with their wives. You know, there's all these mental and physical kind of games that you have to keep yourself prepared, and when you have to do that much more flying, it sucks. Angels on everyone's pillows for sweet dreams. More angels on everyone's shoulders for beautiful and blessed Wednesday. Thank you, love. We appreciate that. Dude, Woodson was robbed from another ring as a Charger. I just don't hate the silly Wadas, but the Patriots truly beat us back when LT, Rivers, Gates were together. Good old days. Right on, Piano Man, taking us on the good old days. He was a bank robber, I know, right? What an idiot. There's a documentary on Netflix about that guy who got in trouble for robbing banks. Oh, man, I got to look for that. Bear, can you get Genty live on your show? Bob, I've never really done that. You know what I mean? I'm sure if I reached out and made calls, I could probably do it. I just never really done that. I saw even that one of the other guys, Mitchell Renz, I know is doing that. I don't know if you watched it. I don't enjoy stuff like that. I just don't. You know what I mean? Most people who watch shows, especially podcasts, you're watching it for what I'm going to give to you as far as information and my study work and my knowledge of the game. When I have a host on, sometimes they can tend to go too long and talk about stuff you're bored with, and it can be really hard. I can be honest with you. One of the best guests I had was the Violator. He was fantastic. Also Raider Goon and his wife were just a treasure. They were so funny, and Raider Goon was great, and his wife was just awesome. She was so funny. Let's see who else. Of course, my Band-Aid's it's like one of those breathe strip things, and it's like coming loose all of a sudden. Jersey Tucker, love Jersey Tucker. She had a great interview with me. It was very foul-mouthed. But I don't do that myself personally, but I'm not against it. You know what I mean? Sean Scott said the Raiders were usually the team to be flying the most miles. Sean Scott, I think that Tom Brady, welcome to the show, Sean. I think that Tom Brady has caused somewhat of an backdoor for us with the NFL, the other owners, and Roger Goodell. I really do. I think that sort of like hatred that the Raiders had for the league and the league had for the Raiders through Al Davis's life and then through a great deal of Mark Davis's life, I think that might be actually softening right now. I don't know what it is. You know, you saw baseball finally come off of Pete Rose, and they're letting Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. I don't know, but things like that have been kind of marinating for, it seems like, a long, long time. They seem like now those things, cooler heads are starting to prevail. You know what I mean? And I think that this relationship that the league has with us, I think that, I mean, come on. Can we all agree that there were just Raider games that looked fixed, where the refs were just throwing flags at us and just making sure we lost? I mean, I just feel like there were. You know, I just feel like there's been decades of games where the refs were making sure that we didn't win, you know. the tuck rule being one of them. But I think that actually might be in our past now. I really do. I think that might be in our past. I think there's a really good chance that we're going to see some great football from us, and the refs give us a fair shake. What's up, Brazil? I love Brazil. You guys are spoiled. The women out there, my God. I really believe this year, Raider Bear, we're going to make the playoffs and go further. Anthony, welcome to the show. I'm as excited as you are. I won't lie to you. I'm not afraid to do that. I know the team may have been bad last year. Yeah, I don't care. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, were there a little bit better iterations of the team, and then the next year it was bad, and then the next year it got a little better. You know, we did a little bit of this, you know, especially through the Josh McDaniel stuff, because we had player personnel. Just our coach was an idiot. He was a little tiny nincompoop. And so now that he's gone, then we go to AP. AP doesn't have enough experience. He was making way too many mistakes, especially with time management. There was just stuff. Guys, I liked AP. I really did. I wanted that to work for him. But there was too many mistakes being made, especially when you consider they put kitty wheels on the job and gave him two former playoff-winning head coaches that were on both sides of the ball helping him out. And we still saw time management problems, personnel issues. It was too much. Okay, so now you move forward. You give an old coach that's used to rebuilding programs only 2 years to do this, and he wants that because he figures if I can't do that these next 2 years, I'll just retire. But if I get in here and I make the Raiders great again in 2 years, well, hey, I mean, maybe I stay. Make the Raiders great again? I need one of those beanies. Tanamoku, what's up? I was at a bar here in Vegas that has a waist-high figurine of the Violator. It's hella cool. That's dope. The Raiders will break the curse this year. I kind of believe that. I won't lie to you. 100% Raiders were always rigged to lose, but I agree that's changing, and I see us going to the Super Bowl in the next 1 to 3 years. And I think the Vegas influence has a lot to do with that, too. I think the part of the why and Sean Scott, I want you to tell me, my show's almost over, but I want you to take a moment. Tell me if you agree with this in your next comment. I think that the part of the reason the league was so mad that the Raiders went to Vegas is because they kind of knew they were going to have to smash the beef with us. Because you can't have that happening in Vegas. You can't. Everyone knows what Vegas is. Okay, let's be honest. Everyone knows what Vegas is. And once the NFL finally got to crack that nut and get through the shield and get into Vegas, everyone knows how Vegas works. It's entertaining. You always leave happy having seen a performance. So you can't have an NFL team there that's just losing. You can't. And I made a point way back when we were first building the stadium. I said if Mark Davis doesn't build a winner within the first 10 years of him being in that stadium, he's going to have a real problem holding on to the stadium because financially it's going to be a backbreaker to him. Okay, so then the value of the stadium, though, tripled. He then bought the WNBA franchise. Before you act like that's no big deal, try to remember He only paid $2 million for the WNBA Aces, a team with a couple of rings and star players from top to bottom. I mean, Mark Davis is like the man in WNBA basketball. As weird as that might sound to you, go check it out. I know some of you still don't know about that, but just go check out how he's been doing. He has multiple championships. He's got girls that are Hall of Famers that are going to go for sure into the Hall of Fame. He's got super talent. He's even got a new girl just this year that, I mean, she looks incredible at point guard. And so he gets it done in women's basketball. And so that franchise is only growing and gaining in power and finance. And so it might be able to sort of back support what he's doing with the stadium should the Raiders still continue to crawl to building a winner. But I agree with everyone that's saying that this team has a chance to be a good winner. I really do think it does too. Didn't they fire the refs that were cheating for the Chiefs? Yes, I believe 2 of them were. The Tuck rule took the refs a half hour to call on us, had to find some way to make us lose. I completely agree. They were supposed to blow us out. Again, I agree. Anthony Contreras said, you're right. Now, whenever anyone says that, that gets posted. Oh. Yeah, no, Piano Man fans will travel to Vegas, obviously, but it's such an attraction, and Vegas wants winners. Vegas itself will not be satisfied with a loser, and so they will have to go in there and start winning. They can't keep being what we've been these last few years. All right, that's my show. Much love. Shout out to our armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Space Force, for all you do. The energy and love of this show is dedicated to your sacrifice. Active and veteran, much love. Consider a subscription to Raider Bear family page on YouTube, on Facebook. Look for me. I'll be on tomorrow night. I have a hell of a package tomorrow night. No. Not like that. On auction tomorrow night. Flag, license plate, Raider logo. All one Raider package tomorrow night. Don't miss out on that. And if there are a lot of bids and people are really going for it, I promise I will have winning stuff for people who come in second and third. I always take care of my peoples. And I appreciate you always tuning in. And I will see you tomorrow night. Subscribe. Love a bear. What? A Raiders! Yeah, you knew what was coming.